Hi, I'm Logan and I'm a rising junior at Yale, where I'm a member of Word, which we like to say is the oldest and most hyped performance poetry group on campus. The poem that I'm about to read was inspired by the ending lines of another poem, Urban Girl and the Urban Legend by Sierra Freeman, who is a phenomenal poet, and I would absolutely encourage everyone to read not only that poem, but also to delve into and read the rest of her poetry too. It was also written in the context of and thinking about a mural called The Incident by John Wilson, which depicts a racial terror lynching. The poem is titled Who to Save First, and it begins with a short epigraph from Urban Girl and the Urban Legend. Their eyes are each other, and 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 their jaws are denials revoked. And that smile? That smile? It is terror deciding who to save first. Sierra Freeman. In the last summer before we outgrew our innocence, me and my sister and my cousin chased red dragonflies through peach orchards, went swimming in irrigation ditches, ran down dirt roads with dusty feet competing for freedom and as many stretches of empty as we could claim. There, our fears were always mythical. The river monster nibbling at our feet, the folk tales of shapeshifters hiding in the long grass. There was a time when my worries occupied a smaller part of me. But we have since transmuted our innocence into terror as the fear became more rational. Now, my terror looks like anticipation and hold on and wait and wait and wait and silence. Looks like the spaces my family leaves empty that I cannot fill. A Pandora's box not even hope wanted to stay in. My terror looks like New York. And a cousin just young enough for the city to pick its teeth with. Like a sister whose voicemails seem more echoed outlined than sibling. In summers since, my terror has looked like murals, like brandished fire and a swallowing of bodies in the night. Sounds like packs of ravenous white men who follow us down the street on the 4th of July, their jaws are hungry threats oozing with the scent of liquor and war cries. My terror lives in how we flinch at the sound of fireworks, walk closer together on the sidewalk, how we hold hands like a legion in the hope that if two black people pray at the same time, they become harder for God to ignore, are not so easily remade into ghosts, are a little less invisible, if not to anyone else, then at least to each other. And what are our lives but vanishing acts valued only for their climax? Us left wondering how many people will applaud the wrong kind of black magic when we disappear. What more would it take than a command and the flick of a pale wrist to make them slip between my fingers? To ignite a flash of raging light and create a blinding whiteness that breaks us into nothing. My terror is the realization that all we got is each other. And each other. And each other, and each other, and each other, and nowadays we're too far apart to have even that. The truth is, the terror of deciding who to save first is always followed by a loss anyway. Is riddled with guilt when the answer is yourself. Assumes you had any power to start with. Makes you question if the loving was futile. Means you are constantly running out of metaphors to talk about death. And I am so tired of writing poems about orchards filled with strange fruit, of tributes to Emmett Till ending with my hands up, of recreating and staging all the ways our bodies can be unmade, so maybe I could tell you about all the ways they can be whole too. My terror is often indistinguishable from my reality, but so is my heaven. So maybe my voice could be more than just a testimony of violence, and I could give you a song. Did you know that my heaven sounded like the wing beats of 1,000 tiny dragons? Did you know that the fruit there was familiar in the best way possible? That our eyes were watching kinder gods of our own creation, looking at each other and each other and each other and each other, and our jaws were aching from the taste of sweet things we were finally allowed to savor. And our smiles, they were seeping with the joy of having nothing to run from.